Good morning students. This semester I am going to handle Advanced Control System. The subject code is 17EE741. In that the first module what we are going to see is State Variable Analysis and Design. In your previous semester you have come across what is meant by control system, why do we need control system in an electrical circuits, what are all the different analysis we have to identify the stability of the system, how we can plot the Bode plot, root locus, Nyquist for both linear and also how to identify the gain for a linear system, non-linear system, everything you might have read in basic level. This semester you are going to see the in-depth analysis, that is for all the research paper you need the state variable analysis for the design of any control system. So in this you are going to see the state variable approach. In your previous semester you have read the transfer function approach. In this semester you are going to see state variable approach and how to find the state equation, output equation for a given system. So here in this module you are going to see state variable analysis and design, the introduction to your state variable analysis and design. What is the state variable and state model, some more definitions, how we can build a state model for the linear continuous time system. So it means that linear system, non-linear system. You are going in this subject, you are going to focus your analysis both to linear as well as your non-linear system, time variant and time invariant system, continuous and discrete system. So all these things you are going to focus in this subject. Next is your feedback concept. So why do we need control system? Why basically we need to read the control system in the sense just to find the stability of the complete system. To have a stability of the system we need a feedback loop. So feedback in the sense the output is fed back to the input. That is, suppose if you have any oscillations at the output, it is continuously varying. So output, we need a constant output for any variation in your input. Like that you have to make a stabilization. For that we need to take a feedback from the output. That is the way whatever quantity that is varying at the output has to be taken as a reference in the feedback path, and it has to be again given to the input for correction purpose. There are two types of feedback. One is your positive feedback and another one is your negative feedback. So usually to maintain the stability of the system we will be preferring a negative feedback system. And also we have shunt feedback and series feedback. So like how exactly we are going to connect, we are least bothered. In this we are going to identify the feedback gain so that you can make your system in stable condition. So what is meant by a feedback? So what the feedback system is going to process? Though the feedback system is going to process the output varying quantity. For example, in this you are going to see. So in this you are going to take the reference signal from the output. So whichever quantity is varying, to stability in the sense that is your output has to be constant for any variation in your input. So here you are going to take the processing signal, that is quantity which is varying at the output, as a feedback signal. So the feedback system is nothing but it takes the feedback as a process signal and as such or signal processor. So the processing part of the feedback system may either be electronic or electrical or ranging from very simple to highly complex system. So as we discussed earlier, there are two types of system. One is your open loop system and another one is your closed loop system. Open loop system means there won't be any feedback available over here. So whatever you are getting at the input, that will be based on the open loop gain you will get at its output. But the output what we are getting, it is of in varying quantity. That is continuously it will be varying for any variation in your input or any disturbances that is occurring at the input. So this is not the one for the for the system whose efficiency is required. So to maintain a good efficiency and complete stability of the system, we need to have a feedback. If you are giving a feedback by taking the varying signal as a reference and giving it to the for the correction, then it is called as a closed loop system. So if you maintain the system under open loop condition, it means your output will not be stable, it will be oscillating or it will be fluctuating. So if you are giving the feedback, then that is your output will be maintaining a stable condition. So the feedback system is very useful and it is widely used in amplifier circuit, oscillators, process control systems, as well as other type of electronic system. But for a feedback to be an effective tool, so you need to have, it must be a controlled, as an uncontrolled system will either oscillate or fail to function. So you have to select the feedback gain properly so that you can maintain the output of the system completely stable. So it means that calculating the gain factor is an important one in case of design of any feedback system. This is the general feedback concept. So if you see a feedback system of a basic model, you can see here without this feedback, if you connect your input through a system, then you have only open loop gain. So it is your forward path. If you wanted to connect your feedback system, then it is going to be your feedback path. So here the feedback can either be a positive feedback or negative feedback. There are two approaches that we are going to follow in case of your feedback system. One is your transfer function approach, another one is your state variable approach. So to maintain the stability of the system, or to find whether the system is stable or not, we have used a stability theory in a control system, that is root locus analysis. So this root locus analysis in the system, what it will do, it will we need to find the roots of the system for any variation with a certain system parameter, commonly again within the feedback system. The other approach is a feedback frequency response. So the frequency response is nothing but the representation of your system response for your sinusoidal input at varying frequency. So here you will have an input, that is if you are having a sinusoidal input, it will be of varying frequency. The output of the linear system to a sinusoidal input of the same frequency but with different magnitude and phase. So for any variation in your input, you will get the output. In case of your frequency response character, in case of your frequency, it just represents your system response. For your input to be sinusoidal, you will get the output also to be sinusoidal with a different magnitude and phase. It is the basic function of your feedback system. Next is your state space analysis. So whatever we have seen, so there are two ways of analyzing. One is your transfer function approach, another one is your state variable approach. In your previous semester, you have read the transfer function approach and you know how to draw your root locus, Bode plot, Nyquist plot, how to find the stability point, everything. So all this is your basic for this semester to read your state variable approach. So in the next class, we'll be seeing more about your state space analysis. Thank you, students. In the previous class, we have seen what is meant by a feedback system, what is the basic block diagram of the feedback system, how exactly it works, how we are going to analyze the error result. Here we are going to see the state space analysis of the system. So what is meant by a state space analysis? Like it is also used for design and analysis of your control system. The conventional and old method for the design and analysis of the control system is a transfer function method. But the transfer function method has certain disadvantages and drawbacks. So because of that, we are not going to focus more on that transfer function approach. Instead, we are going to focus on state variable approach. So state space analysis, it is the best method and the excellent one for a design of any control systems. Compared to your conventional method, this method prefers more advantages, because the previous method what you are going for the design and analysis of the control system is transfer function approach due to the disadvantages. So the transfer function approach has the following drawbacks. Like a transfer function is defined only under zero initial condition. So suppose if you are going to apply for the design of any control system, the transfer function is defined only under zero initial condition, and it is applicable only for linear time invariant. It cannot be applied for your linear time invariant system or multiple. Suppose if you are having multiple inputs at your input, this transfer function approach is not applicable for any design of your control system, and comparatively it is very difficult as the number of inputs is going to get increased. Due to avoid all these drawbacks, we are going for a state variable approach. So the main advantage of the state variable approach is you can apply the system for multiple input and multiple output system. In case if you are having n number of inputs at in any design, you can consider all the input at the same time for any design of your controlling variable. Also, it is applicable for time variant and time invariant system. Usually whatever signal we are considering, we cannot predict that it will be only of time invariant system. So from time to time the signal will get varied. So we need to consider the time varying as well as the invariant signal for the analysis or to identify the variable in the design of your control system. Also, this type of approach is applicable both for linear and non-linear system, and also it gives the idea about the internal state of the system. So compared to your transfer function approach, the state variable approach can be used for both linear and non-linear system, and also this approach is used to used in case of your time varying and invariant system, multiple input and multiple output system, and also it is used to give an idea about the internal state of the system. So this is how you are going to imply. So due to this all these advantages, we are going to use this state variable approach in the analysis and the design of your control system. Thank you, students.